Hello YouTube, Silent S here with the Rollei 35 film camera. I have heard the brand name pronounced several different ways, Rollei, Rollei, but it's German, right? So it should be Rollei. This is one of the smallest full-frame 35mm cameras ever produced. It was produced between 1966 and 1981, first in Germany and then in Singapore. This is one of the Singapore production models, and it does have the Tessar lens by Zeiss. Looking at some of the controls on the front, over here on the inner wheel, we have our film speed selector, which is both marked in DIN and ASA. DIN was the German standard, ASA the American standard. Of course, both of those have been superseded by the various standards of ISO. If you hold in this silver locking lever, you can rotate the aperture selection dial. And actually, if we open this up, we can probably see the aperture opening and closing. In the middle, we have the depth of field adjust. On the top, it's metered in feet, and on the bottom, in meters. Over here on the other side, we have on the inner section a wheel that has no mechanical function. It simply serves as a visual reminder of what type of film you've loaded in the camera if you're forgetful. On the outside wheel is the shutter speed selector. It goes from 1/500th of a second up to 1/2 a second. Also, there is a B mode or bulb so that the shutter will stay open as long as you hold the shutter release button. On the top, we have the shutter locking, the lens locking button, the shutter release, the shutter cocking lever, and in here, this window is for the electronic exposure meter. There is a cadmium sulfide photocell in here that activates a little needle that will go somewhere in the range in here. And then what you do is by changing the camera settings, you actually try and match the location of the orange needle to the location of the white needle. And that's how you know that your exposure settings are set correctly. On the back, there's not much to see. There's this lever here to rewind the film, put it up to rewind, put it back down for normal operation. Viewfinder, and that's about it. On the bottom, you have a hot shoe mount for flashes, a standard tripod mount, the exposure counter, and of course your film winder. Definitely need that. Over here is the lock for the body of the camera. Simply unlock that latch and slide the camera open thusly. Put your film cartridge in over here, open this door, thread it over, lock it in the spool over here, put that back up, close your camera, you're good to go. One thing you do need to know about this camera is regarding the batteries. This is the battery cover. You unscrew it with a coin. This camera takes these PX625s or PX13 size batteries. However, the exposure meter is designed to work with mercury cell batteries because they maintain a constant voltage over their lifetime, whereas alkaline cells that you could buy today decrease in voltage over time. You can no longer buy mercury cells, at least in America, because mercury is a toxic heavy metal. So there are some options. You can get some zinc air batteries that also work, or you can actually recalibrate the exposure meter to work with modern 1.5 volt batteries. It is designed to work with 1.35 volts. So that is the Rollei 35. It's a great little camera. Yeah, I think it's super cute. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it interesting, please leave a comment or a like. If you have any questions, also leave them in the comments. I'll respond with either a future video or a comment. I hope you liked it. Enjoy your day, YouTube.